If there's been a temporary restraining order or a final injunction put in place by the court, then no, a victim should never sit across the table from their abuser. However, if there hasn't been a court order where there's no contact between the parties, and the parties are willing to work together, mediation is a wonderful process that can help you get to the end without having to fight in court and without having to spend thousands of dollars on litigation fees. It's extremely important to have a good support system if you're the victim of domestic violence. You need to have friends and family around and a confidant that you can trust. If you've been the victim of domestic violence, I highly recommend that you seek out a therapist. A therapist will help you through the divorce process where domestic violence is a component. Domestic violence can make the divorce process more complex because of all the emotions that are involved. I always recommend that my clients have a therapist on their side, especially ones that are the victims of domestic violence. When children are involved and you have been the victim of domestic violence, some of the more complex issues are, how are we going to timeshare with the children? Who's going to pick them up from school? How are we going to exchange them? Who gets to go to their activities? Well, it certainly makes it more complicated because if there's a no contact order between you and your spouse, you'll have to figure out whether there's a way to communicate solely about the children and nothing else. You also need to have considerations regarding attendance at certain extracurricular activities. Who's going to the graduation? Who's going to the basketball game? Will your spouse be there? Those are things that you need to have an attorney on your side for to guide you and help you find those tools that make co-parenting easier, even though you're the victim of domestic violence. The first step in dealing with domestic violence and children is to make sure that the kids are protected, make sure that they're safe. The next step is to figure out if there's a way to communicate with your co-parent without having to actually physically speak with them in a way that you feel comfortable so that you can still co-parent your children. Domestic violence and divorce make divorce much more complex. Not only are you dealing with the breakdown of your marriage, but you've also been victimized. And so you have so many emotions going through you. And what's really difficult is compartmentalizing all of that so that you can focus on distributing your assets and liabilities, making sure your kids are safe, happy, and protected, and building a future for yourself. If you have questions about how domestic violence changes the divorce process, contact us at Ritchey Family Law for a free case evaluation. We're here to help.